So I'm testing a new background. I'm testing a new vibe. You know, the studio is going under revamp. It's new and bigger, better things for the World Cup and for 2020. What's next? 2024. Something, yeah. 2023, yeah. Anyways, let me just get right into it. I don't know what this video is about. I think it's just some thoughts I've been having about football, because I think about football 24/7. I actually need to go outside and touch grass. You can call them unpopular opinions, you can call them whatever. I don't care, but I'm gonna let it be known that I have things to say. So first, I have to start with my king, Mbappe. Stop. I hate how the media portrays him to be this villain and this spoiled brat and this angry person, when I've hardly, one, seen him speak out in the media in a negative light, two, be disrespectful, three, be a spoiled brat. You know what I'm saying? Words have meaning and none of those meanings stick. One, Real Madrid fans, he's never promised or said that he's going to sign with Real Madrid. Two, PSG fans, aren't you happy that a player is loyal and willing enough to stay and grow with your club, even though the management and the ownership is in shambles? I'm not getting, it's not picking up for me. Now I do get some of the concerns people have with him being angry at being subbed or being taken off at halftime, or him not wanting to anybody to take a penalty, or he's looking at a team. Like, people have natural reactions and feelings, and it happens, and none of this is very serious, because until he commits a crime, he has not done anything wrong, and I'm gonna stand by that. I do not like, and don't attack me now, not the individuals but the players. I do not like Kane, Benzema and Salah. Do not ask me why. I will not go into it further. That's all you need to know. Maybe I'll one day technically break it down and give you all the tactical words and explanations, but for now, I never respected any of them. Don't get me wrong, they're talented and they're phenomenal players and they are the weightlifters of their teams, but they don't get me out my seat. Thank you very much. This one, don't attack me here. Saka is better than Sancho, Foden, and all his other players. I think in the past 2 seasons he has been very consistent with his performances and how he has stepped up to the table at Arsenal, and that is so commendable while others are struggling. And I think it's the fact that he plays for Arsenal why he does not have a good rep to rally for him. One, I don't think anybody likes Arsenal. Two, he's not playing the Champions League where, you know, outsiders and casuals and everybody else can watch and glorify him. But we're working on that, Saka. We're gonna get you to a better environment. La Liga isn't dead. Your view on football is. I do think the comments of La Liga is boring and comes from Premier League fans who have no knowledge outside of what happens in England. Like, your slip is showing. It's telling. It tells that you have no understanding of the game. I mean, from ever since La Liga has been the home of numerous. Yeah, La Liga has been the home for numerous superstars. It has always been the home of entertainment, the box office performances. Yes, in recent years it has dwindled down in terms of quality, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a pretty decent league, in my opinion. And which leads me to another league. The Premier League is the actual farmers league. That there's no way Man City walks the league year in, year out and you think it's competitive. There's no way Liverpool rack up so many points just to come second. I mean, there are a few games where mid-table clubs beat top 6 clubs and it's fun to watch, but it's never a moment where we have 3-legged horse race. Like, even if we go back in time, it's always been one club dominating year after year after year. And isn't that what a farmers league? Moving right along, the talk about the Champions League being boring, again, your view on football has changed. And I do think it has a lot to do with the oversaturation. We've been watching so many football content back to back from the Euro, like the pre-COVID. Then COVID comes in, things get pushed back. Then we have our Euros. We have so many rescheduled events coming in back to back to back. At no point we got a break. You remember days of football being on breaks and you missed them for 2 weeks. We haven't had that. And so I think the oversaturation have dwindled down people's interest. But there have been Champions League group games that have kept me on my feet, that have really raised the bar in terms of entertainment. So I don't know what you guys are watching or what you guys are into, but it's good. It's good football, right? The Europa League also is a better competition than the Champions League for me. I'm not going to explain further. I will always defend certain players. I'm gonna ride hard, baby. I'm gonna ride or die for these players because I think they, one, are very heavily scrutinized, two, are very talented and deserve more respect, and three, are very kind and sweethearted people. And until they have committed a crime, I'm there to support them, right? So Mbappe, he's who I started the video with. He's gonna always be my king. I love him so much. He's talented. I'm sorry for all of you who have anything else to say. He's good. He's good. He's right and you're all wrong. Leads me to my next king, Mane. I think a lot of people do give him a lot of stick, and this is where I'm going to say not every footballer is going to be extraordinarily talented, multifaceted, out of this world, whatever the word you want to use. Some footballers are just here to give us a good time, and that is it. It's not that deep. Leads me into Pogba. While his career has taken some hits and some faults, he also gets heavily scrutinized for, one, being injured, which is not his fault. Nature just happens. Two, his unlocking seasons at Manchester United, again, not his fault. So I think people go too hard on him, and we know what Pogba can do on his day. That sounds funny. And last but very not least, Jorginho. Again, some footballers don't have to be the best ever or life-changing, but they have to be good enough, have a great personality, be a kind-spirited, and love the game for me to have their back. Yeah. You realize Jordan is the only white man here, so it must mean something, right? Because I only stick by my brothers, okay? On to my next opinion. Xavi is clueless, and this is not a disrespect to him because I see where he is trying his best and he is, improving as a manager. But I think the step to Barca, and this is my issue with clubs hiring former legends based on status as a player. A player don't mean you're gonna be a good manager, a good pundit, a good talk show host. It don't mean nothing. Your experiences then may not help you in today's world. And again, it's not his fault because he came into a very bad situation and he's trying his best to navigate out of it, and he's brought back the love of the sport to the colours. You have to give him that, but I do think it's too much of a big step and they need actual experience there. I am not impressed by Arsenal. I'm sorry. It's a purple patch and it will end, and I'm here. I will be there no matter what for the downfall of Arsenal. But I'm only saying this because of rival. My hate for them leads my critical thinking, because critical thinking Rashida would tell you that Arsenal are looking very serious. They do move the needle. They do get me excited. I do like watching the games. It's fun. I'm not an Arsenal fan, of course, but it's football is entertainment and they entertain. But hater Rashida's gonna tell you that it won't last, because come after the World Cup, we're gonna see. There is no best player in the world, I do think, in today's game, because one, players are not consistent enough. Two, injuries ruin any good player's run. And so every week we have this conversation, especially around the Champions League. So we have Benzema, he goes on an absolute insane run, and we don't hear anything from him. Mo Salah again goes on an absolute run. best player in the world, and it just continues every single week until we don't have that one superstar who's the best player. Like, you know, back then when actual superstars were taking over the game, I don't think we have that. If that made any sense to you. I think it's disgusting how football fans stick by criminals. It's always innocent until proven guilty and all these bullshit, and shut up. Shut up. It is weird. It is disgusting. It creeps me out how, one, victims don't get the benefit of the doubt. Two, even when they are proven guilty, it's still like, oh, well, he's a great footballer, I have to stay by him. What? Are you dumb? Once you have committed a crime and you are a criminal, you deserve nothing but to go to prison. Not stands on Twitter saying that you're going to have your day, you're going to come back, it's going to be good. Like, which leads me to my next point. Football fans laugh and mock K-pop stans for being weird and obsessed and fully surrounded by the thought of an artist. But they do it for footballers. You guys use them as your ave on Twitter. They become your personality. They become your life's work. It's weird. And you are worse than any music artist stan. You are even in the same category as them. Moving on. The other leagues are interesting to watch. And this is a hill I am willing to die on. Because again, if you've never watched leagues, how are you basing opinions on them? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Like, have you ever watched a League One game, Brest versus Nice? Like, that is good football. Have you ever watched a Napoli versus Juventus or Inter versus AC Milan? Like, but you just say, oh, how could people tune into these leagues? It's boring. It's not. I promise you, it's not. Give it a try. Give it a try. I'm just saying. The Barca boys, Gavi and Pedri, they are good players, and you guys are weird. Do you know that one meme where niggas be 37 and their ops be 17? Yeah. Why do you people hate children? Why do you people hate kids that are living a dream and becoming something of themselves? Because you failed in life. Why you hate these kids? It clouds your judgment. I can get you hate for Barcelona and you hate for whatever else in the world. But at some point, like, the agendas must agenda, but at some point we have to be for real. Like, those boys are talented. And what? Like, don't even. Women's football is fun to watch. Stop trying to be edgy. If you support the men's team, trust me, tap into the women's team. Barca fans, the women's team, absolute monsters. They have some of the best players in Europe playing for them. Lyon, great players as well. Chelsea, Manchester City. Can I say Man United women? Arsenal. Like, get into the women's teams of the teams you support, and I'm promising your life will be changed. The games, too good. I keep hearing everybody saying that it's gonna be the worst World Cup and so many injuries, but it's always what history repeats itself. Coming into every World Cup, we do have the stars going down, or they might be a miss for it, or when they do get there, they do get injured and their seasons are right off. People also say the startup quality is dead, and we're all going to tune in, and the World Cup is going to deliver some of the best moments, and we're going to sit and talk for it forever. So shut up and just enjoy this, please. In the Suarez, Benzema, Lewandowski striker conversations of who you choose, because every single day that question comes up, we can come to a point as a society and say that Suarez is the clear winner. While he's not actively the best out of all of them, history, we cannot erase history. We cannot do revisionist history and act like he was not a part of one of the best trios of all time. Like, he was not. His time at Liverpool, he was firing it away. His time at Barcelona, even for the Uruguayan national team, I do get around the controversies in his career may have hindered his people's view of him. But let's be for real here. And not to say that Kane, Benzema, Lewandowski aren't talented, but they have not done enough to impact as to what Suarez has done. I made sense there. Last but not least, this question about who'd you pick? Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, midfield, or the Cruz, Modric, Casemiro? I'm gonna leave with the Barca boys, and this takes a lot out of me. But we have to again stop doing revisionist history. They were good. They have done it all. They have been successful. That not even just trophies won, but the play. Their playing days moved me. It was one of the first times in my life when I started watching football where I was moved by players. Xavi, yes, love him. Iniesta is my favorite midfielder of all time, second to Thomas Muller. We're gonna get into that someday. But as I'm saying, these players were game changers, were the best of the best. Players want to be like them. Don't get me wrong. What the Madrid boys did with 5 UCLs, 2 back-to-back. That is also amazing, but they have not been better, if you get what I'm saying. And I hope I leave the video on this very controversial note. So tell me which one of my opinions you agreed with, what you disagreed with, what you didn't like. I'm also planning to do a part 2 because I have so much more to say and get into. Thank you guys so much for watching my video.